What's up, pedal lovers? Kyle here again, another product review for you today. Today we are checking out something from a pedal board company that I recently started checking out and fell in love with the stuff they're doing over there. They're making some very high quality products, and that company's name is Rust Belt PedalBoards. And let's let you see what they sent me, okay? So this is a custom Rust Belt pedal board in a black Tolex case. So what you see here almost looks like luggage, right? Very, very well made. And as you see, your board kind of drops out the bottom of this. Hinged on the bottom, latches up here at the top. So you can set your case down, tilt it up, unlatch, let the case fall to the stage, roll this off, and then the hinges or slip off hinges. So let's check out the board itself so you guys can see a little bit more of exactly what we're checking out here. All right. So I'm going to let the latches loose. This is a little bit more difficult to do when I have it up in my lap like this, but latches come loose. There we go. And I'm going to let the board drop. And as it comes down, then I can lift it off the hinge. So, let me set this to the side for one moment. Talk about the case real quickly. So, very, very high quality case. The only thing that I may do to this a little bit different is put some padding in the top. They don't do that at the factory, and that's okay. That's clearly personal choice, and it just depends on how rough you're going to be with your board. It's not a flight case. You're not going to be able to throw this thing around all over the place. It's not intended for that, but what it is intended for is to keep everything very, very safe in a nice, well-constructed, very, very sturdy box. But I would throw some foam at the top of that just to keep things nice and safe. Outside of that, this is a super high quality construction case, and I love the integrated latching system and hinges here. So, outside of that, let's talk about the board itself and what they sent. So this is a 24 by 13 African Paddock wood board. I believe I'm saying that correct. Now, to state this thing is very well made is an understatement. This is basically furniture grade construction. This is super nice. I can't state how nice this is. Very well made. Loop on the top is some very high quality, highest quality Velcro loop on the top here. Going to keep everything nice and secure. Tolex on the bottom, non-slip feet there. Very well made. I always like when they put the attention to the detail on the bottom because not everybody does, and it's usually an unfinished bottom on a lot of boards, and they didn't do that. They took the time when they had Tolex the bottom of that. Love that. All right. So one of the first questions you're probably going to be asking is, where is your cable routing and everything as far as that goes? So they actually kind of hid that feature within here because they wanted to leave you options for what you wanted to do. This board actually is slotted. As I run my finger along here, I can feel the slotting right here. There's another here along both ends. It actually stops right here in the middle. There's a joint here. But they left that so that you could take an X-Acto knife, slit that, run your cables as you want to up underneath. To detach the top of the board, just 4 screws. That drops the top out. You can mount your power supply inside and then run all of your routing. Pop your board back on the top. Everything's nice and secure. Everything's going to stay inside. So, pretty easy access as far as that goes. Just 4 screws, 1 in each corner that you have to undo to get to the inside of the board. Now, as far as cable routing, this is an important feature on boards like this. I had them do all of my cable routing on this side. So we have a power switch here, your power inlet here, and ins and outs all on one side. I prefer to do all mine on one side. A lot of people like their in on one side, out on the other. I like mine on one side because it allows me to run into it here and then out, and I have all my cables coming out one side of the board for stage use and not things strung out both sides that I'm tripping over them. So I prefer all mine on one side. They will do that whichever way that you want. They can also wire in additional ins and outs for loops if you would like. They have several different options, and actually they have a whole list of options that they will do. And actually, here's that list. As far as woods, I mean, they have a choice of 10 different woods or so that you can get with this. Everything from maple to walnut to zebra wood to wenge, all of those things are options. Your 1/4-inch jacks, your power sockets, your top-mounted AC socket, matching power cords, custom pedal board snake, XLR wire jacks, MIDI jacks. If you want all of that, they offer all of those things as options. They do also resell the power supplies pre-mounted for the boards. They have a number of those, everything from Pedal Power to Voodoo Lab to MXR, etc. They do offer if you want to purchase a power option with your pedal board. They also offer pedal wiring services with their boards, so all of those things are there. Now, a standard board, no case, everything else starts at about $195 with them. You're going to run all the way up to somewhere around $550 based on the options and things that you choose for your board. This board, as configured, is closing in on about $500 with the case and everything else. Again, this is the African Paddock board with a black Tolex case. So email them, talk to them on their website. You can get pricing for the board as you would configure it. Their website is rustbeltpedalboards.com. So what I'm going to do now is actually switch views here. We're going to get down on the floor with this, and I'm going to pop the top on it and show you the interior as well. All right, see you in a second. All right, so here we are now down on the floor where we can get a better look at this board here. And I went ahead and unscrewed the top to let you guys be able to see the inner workings of this. And I found a very nice surprise. One thing I was worried about with this is if you need to get to the interior of the board and you have to undo these screws, are you going to eventually wear out the wood that this is screwed into? Well, guess what? Rust Belt's a step ahead of me on that. They already thought about it. And they have pre-tapped, pre-threaded screw holes here with a metal insert that has threading. So you're not going to be wearing out your wood going in and out every time. These are non-tapping screws, as you guys can see. So that's very nice. Means over the life of your board, as you go in and out of the interior of your board, you're not going to be wearing it out. Love that feature. As stated here, you can see the slots on the board a little bit better. So those are your slotting that I was talking about, and you can just run an X-Acto knife down that from the other side and be able to get to your ins and outs as you need to. Very cool. So, setting that top aside for the moment, let's talk about the interior of the board. So he will wire this any way you want. He can run these straight for a power slot for like a Voodoo Lab or something like that if you need to. I had them run just a regular pigtail on the interior of the board for me so I can hook up any power supply I choose. In this case, I've actually decided with this board what I'm going to end up doing is just a one spot on this, as that is all I'm going to require for the pedals that I'm going to put on this. Eventually I'll probably switch that to a Joyo power supply or something along those lines. Is what I tend to use for isolated power. But in the interim, we'll probably just run a one spot on the inside, and a pigtail gives me options on what I want to do. What I wasn't expecting to find in here was pre-wired cables. That is awesome. Most board manufacturers are just going to give you the insert ins and outs that have the ability for you to plug in your own cable there and route it how need be. Most do not pre-wire a cable onto the jacks for you. That is a super nice feature. Gave you plenty of length there to run wherever you need to inside the board. That is awesome. Lots of interior space in here that you can make use of however you need to. If you have something like a noise reduction pedal or a BBE sonic stop that you leave on all the time regardless, you could run something like that inside of your board if you wanted to. That is something I tend to do, is have something like that on the interior of my board that I don't have to get to all the time, because I leave it set in one spot and I leave it on all the time. And I may choose to do that here. Who knows? We'll see. So yeah, extremely great as far as that goes. Loving this. That is super nice that he did that. I think this is an amazing board, and as you see, even the interior finish of everything is well done. High quality construction. Loving this board. So I think the only thing left to do is for me to wire up this board with some pedals and let you guys see the finished product. So we're going to get on some wiring now and have some fun with that, and start picking out some pedals to put on this board. I'll get it all put together and we'll come back and take a look at it in just a few. All right, guys. All right, so here you have it. Little post wire up job for you guys to see. Went in through 8 pedals on there with a 1 spot inside, and yeah, I'm loving it. Everything looks good. I did my slotting here, as you can see. Let me actually tilt that up a little bit so you can kind of see that. Went in and ran an X-Acto knife down those and just opened up those slots for me able to run cables in and out. I kind of like it because it tucks around the cables as you go through, so anything that you're not using kind of closes up a little bit, which is nice. And yeah, I'm really digging the Rust Belt pedal boards here. This thing's awesome. Got a nice lineup here. Plenty of room on here. Plenty of extra room, really, to be honest with you. I could fit a few more on here once I get another power supply option on here. I will definitely be doing so. So, loving the Rust Belt pedal board. Think this is awesome. And yeah, you guys definitely need to check these out. They have a ton of options, ton of different boards, and like I said, this thing is a piece of furniture. It is wonderful construction, beautifully finished, and all high quality parts, and looks like a lot of attention to detail went into this. So good on Rust Belt. I think they're doing amazing things. Check them out, and I'll see you guys next time.